Live from Austin, Texas, with host Rosie Newberry. Local trends, shopping, and more. This is Studio 512.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today for Studio 512. Austin Opera's company premiere of Fiddler on the Roof debuts the first weekend of February. It's coming up. And joining us now are the stars of the show, Stephen Skybell and Mila Daly. Y'all, good morning.
Good morning.
Lovely to have you. Okay, Stephen, a lot of weight on you today because you're the one that we've brought in from New York back to your home state of Texas.
That is true.
So you're really a ringer. If someone's never seen Fiddler and I was embarrassed to tell you that's me, tell us a little bit about the premise of the show.
Well, it's a very universal story. It's about a family, a husband and a wife and their 5 daughters, and they're in 1905 Russia. But it's a story about family and these 3 elder daughters and trying to get them hitched in a way. But then the musical opens up to sort of look at a whole global issue, which is the Jews of this little shtetl town eventually are forced out of their town.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm hearing heavier notes there, but it also sounds like there might be a lot of joy in the production.
It is. I mean, even you, Rosie, who haven't seen Fiddler, probably know most of the music in Fiddler.
Do I?
Sunrise, Sunset, L'Chaim, Matchmaker.
Make Me a Match.
There you go.
Oh, I do know the music.
So it's the thing that, I mean, and of course they say since the day that Fiddler opened on Broadway in 1966, it's been done somewhere in the world every day since then.
Wow.
And that is because it is so appealing. It is great entertainment, and it also is about, it's a message. It has a really heartfelt, deep message along with it.
That continues to resonate with audiences decades and decades later, you know, as we go on, my goodness. All right, so Tevye is apparently the name of your character. You've had the opportunity to play this role more than once, my friend.
Indeed. My first time was 17. I was 17 years old.
No, you're kidding.
At summer camp.
And you're now 18, 19.
No. But I played him when I was 17, then I played him when I was 21 in college, and then had a long period of time, did not play him, was always eager to play him. Eventually got cast in 2018 in the Yiddish version directed by Joel Grey that we did in New York, that then became a bit of a sensation, and we kind of have been reviving it on and off for 4 years. I'm about to revive it up in Toronto. It as well as Fiddler the Musical really struck a chord because it was in the language that they would have spoken. But I've done it a lot, and I've played Laser Wolf on Broadway, and I love the musical, and it's one of those rare opportunities for an actor who has a role that is so meaningful. It is such a, for me, it's such a meaningful role that I'm just delighted to do it over and over and over again with a wonderful new cast every time.
Yeah, well, and I know that you guys are really proud of the ensemble that y'all have gotten the chance to work with.
Sure.
But before we move on, does it feel the same, or does every new production feel different?
Different, always different. Okay. I mean, I've done one other operatic version, which was in Chicago at the Lyric Opera of Chicago, and the opportunity to blow Fiddler up to an operatic scale with a chorus of, I don't know how many are in this.
I mean, it's a huge chorus.
Is it?
Yeah.
And
so
dancers, it's amazing.
And the scene of it, the way it's going to be on stage is unlike what you might get on Broadway, really, because the scenic and the operatic size of it is just something to behold.
Okay, so this is where the Austin Opera bit comes in. And I know we've featured Austin Opera here on the show before, and they were very forward about saying, like, we are big on musicals because there isn't that much of a difference really between operas and modern musicals. So Mila, I'm going to come to you. You've been with Austin Opera several times before, and Golda is your character. Are you the wife?
I'm the wife.
You're the wife. Okay. Tell us about your
trophy wife.
The trophy wife. Of course, she's gorgeous. And you've produced 5 girls. Good on you on this show.
Impressive work.
Tell us a little bit about your character and what makes this production different.
Well, she's a strong woman who cares about her family deeply. And she is trying to do everything she can, not having a lot of control, to keep her family safe and keep her family together. And that is her goal in every single scenario. And to do this on this grand scale with the best possible cast, the best orchestra in the pit, the best conductor, it's such a privilege, because this music is music that everyone remembers, but to hear it on this grand scale and see it on the grand scale is something that will be unforgettable.
Well, it's a lot of puzzle pieces coming together, so I want to ask you about how rehearsals have been going as you guys have been kind of heading into the start of the show. How have you been feeling?
Great. And also the ice storm
knocked us out
for 2.5 days.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I hope everybody was at home doing their runs and stuff like that.
binge watching TV as well.
A little bit of both.
You want to have some rest in
That's
there,
it.
don't you?
That's it.
I think it's kept us even more fresh. So I think we come to rehearsal with even more excitement, ready to put this show on in a week.
Okay, it's exciting. We're kind of coming down to the wire.
Yeah.
I do want to ask Stephen if you want to add anything to that about getting ready with the rehearsals.
Well, just to say the voices in this production, music is music and singing is singing, and to hear these operatic voices take on this iconic music is just such a delight and to the ear. And I've just so enjoyed hearing everyone. I'm not an opera singer, but everyone else has incredible pipes, and it just is a joy to hear. I think everyone will enjoy that.
Yeah, ear candy, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so let me ask you this, Stephen. What do you hope the audience takes away from this show?
Well, I'll tell you, growing up in Texas, when the movie came out in 1972, I saw this film and I thought, well, Tevye's like my grandfather. He came to he's going to America. My grandfather came to America. So Tevye, you're going to have a grandson like me, and you're going to be, it's a win-win. But then, of course, as one gets older, one realizes these people are being forced from their home. And so the musical, sadly, is as relevant today as it was when it was written, and in some ways more relevant, because I've said to people, growing up in West Texas, I never personally felt anti-Semitism my entire growing up. And obviously now there is more of that sort of intolerant feeling towards others in the world. And so Fiddler, as well as being incredible entertainment, heart-filled entertainment, it does carry a message that is saying, let's look at our world and see how we can maybe do a little better with those we think are different. And I find that very meaningful and moving to be a part of that story.
And so topical,
Yeah.
as you say. All right, guys, I'm going to say break a leg. I know you've been working hard. Thank you both so much for your time today.
Thank you, Rosie.
Of course. All right, guys, you want to see this? It's running for 4 days only. So for tickets and more information on Austin Opera's production of Fiddler on the Roof, visit austinopera.org. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Ally Medical ER. Surviving allergy season in Central Texas, what's normal and when to get checked with Dr. Jessica Best of Ally Medical ER. We always trust her expertise. And Central Texas is, so many say, the allergy capital of the country, Dr. Best. What makes allergy season here so intense?
Oh, well, I have to say it must be all these cedar trees we have. In addition to that, we have lots of grasses, lots of molds. You're going to hear people complaining about this, honestly, year-round, unfortunately.
That's me. I take an allergy pill every day just for that. Yeah, just for dealing with that. For viewers at home, what symptoms are considered maybe normal seasonal reactions?
Oh, sure. So you may have, the stuffy nose, some mild congestion, clear discharge. Some people may get that scratchy throat. Every now and then we'll see people with very maybe mild rash with what's going on.
But that is kind of under the category of normal,
That's right.
mild, might resolve itself, whereas there is the possibility that the allergies may cross the line into something more serious.
right.
So when do we seek medical attention?
All right, so if that congestion is turning green, yellow, maybe if you're developing fever, if that sore throat is getting, let's say, really bad, maybe you're noticing a lot of redness, maybe some white spots in the back of your throat, you're definitely going to want to go ahead and come in. Or if maybe you had a mild dry cough before, but now it's that productive cough, we're going to want to make sure it's something not serious.
How can people tell the difference between severe allergies and an actual infection?
All right, so kind of going back to those things. So if you notice that maybe this mild dry cough is turning into that wet, nasty, productive sputum coming up, you want to get seen. If you're starting to get fevers, definitely get seen. If it's been multiple weeks of congestion and now you're noticing the discharge that's colored yellow, green, definitely time to come in.
All right, and top tips for managing allergies and avoiding unnecessary ER visits during peak season.
Man.
It's tough.
It's very tough. So just like you may want to take that daily allergy tab. Some people actually seek out allergists, allergy shots. It's really hard to avoid it when you have to go outside. So doing the best you can to kind of mitigate your symptoms, and then of course seeking help when you need to.
And if people do need help, Ally Medical ER is there for them.
That's right. We're open 24/7. We can get you seen, evaluated, tested quickly, concierge type service.
Sounds good to me. Dr. Best, thank you.
Thank you.
Ally Medical ER has 7 locations across the greater Austin area. Use online check-in at allymedical.com for added convenience. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Ally Medical ER. Welcome back, everybody. Austin's music community is honoring a blues legend with Home with the Armadillo, an evening celebrating Marcia Ball on January 29th at the Paramount Theater. Joining us now with all the details is the executive director of Marcia's nonprofit called Home, Hannah Kofer. Hannah, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Lovely to see you.
Yes.
All right, Home is housing opportunities for musicians and entertainers. Tell me about it.
Yes, it's a mouthful, but it's very meaningful to sort of what we consider the soul of Austin, right? So we do housing for aging Austin musicians, right? The folks that defined us as the live music capital of the world. You know, it's gotten a little bit more expensive from the 70s when a lot of them were, you know, defining us as a musical town. And so we want to make sure that they can afford to live here with dignity in their golden years.
That is so important, especially as we've got an aging population, and that there was like this burst of a couple of decades in Austin's history where really things were popping, and they were young at that time. They weren't thinking so much about what is retirement going to look like for me? What does aging in place look like with dignity, that sort of thing.
Right.
So this is what you address.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Like that's the nail on the head, right? Is that there's not really an infrastructure of safety net for a lot of these folks. So we, I mean, just try to keep them, again, aging with dignity, hopefully in their own home. So rent, utilities, kind of whatever it takes. But then while they're in our programs, we try to make sure that are they getting the Social Security that they're eligible for, like all these other, you know, programs, so that they've got a little bit more stability and independence, you know, at the end of that grant period.
Which is wonderful, because also as musicians, so often they've been gig workers, which was not a term that we even used.
Right? The OG gig workers,
yeah, they were the OGs of it. So let's talk about Marcia Ball, because she's the one who started this program 13 years ago. She is a pianist, she is a blues legend, and you say she helped start what so much of the Austin music scene is about.
Yeah. I mean, she's an icon. So Marcia, and it was actually, I feel like this is sort of a very unique thing about Home. It was a group of women musicians that actually gathered around Marcia's kitchen table and said, how do we help Miss LaBelle? So Miss LaBelle was another legend. She was trying to move back into town and couldn't make it work. So they got together, had a benefit concert, and there was so much outpouring from the Austin music loving community that they realized there's a there, right? Like there's not only a need, which we know is going to grow, but that the music community in Austin was willing to step up and grow this. So they started the nonprofit Home about 13 years ago.
That's amazing. And I want to hear a little bit more about Marcia's legacy, because she wasn't born here in Texas, but she's lived in Austin for about 45 years now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, so this kind of goes to how we're actually organizing this and celebrating this event on Thursday. So it's kind of chapters of a life in music. And we start off with, if anybody was here in the 70s back at the split rail, Frida and the Fire Dogs, right? So Marcia was Frida. And it was an iconic Austin band, and not one that you necessarily think of first if you weren't here, right? But those that were here were very lucky. And then that kind of started quite a few chapters of history with her here in town. So we're gonna bring the Fire Dogs back together. We've got the home band, which is a lot of these musicians that were around the kitchen table back in the day.
Wow.
Marcia Ball's band, I mean, she's got 5 Grammy nominations. She's toured globally. She's kind of helped create that Gulf Coast sound, right? Like she's sort of beloved in the Louisiana area as well, and helped bring that to Austin. So
well, and we don't get to see her perform all that much anymore. Is that correct? Those performances might be winding down just a touch.
Yeah, she just recently announced a couple months ago that she's retired from playing due to a medical diagnosis. But luckily, she's still loving retirement and going out and seeing music, and so she gets to be there with us on Thursday. So she might not be up there playing every song, even though I'm sure she's going to want to. But we get to bring back some of the iconic folks just to have a big Marcia Ball Love Fest.
I was going to say, and I hope that Home is going to support Marcia with her diagnosis of ALS in the last couple of months.
Yeah, I mean, I think she knows that we're going to be there for whatever she needs.
Okay.
But she's a wildly successful and internationally beloved musician. So we're just grateful that she was part of our founding story, and to this day really serves as an
involved.
anchor.
Yeah.
Incredibly, yeah.
Yeah. And I want to ask, for people who weren't here in the 70s, we're still picking up new Austinites every single day.
Right.
How do you keep them plugged in? How do you keep the outpouring going? How do you keep educating people on how Austin became such an amazing live music capital, and that we need to therefore then support these musicians?
Right, exactly.
It's tough.
Investing in our heritage and why we're here, right? A lot of us, either moved here or moved back because of this. And I think events like this are part of it, right? Because on one hand, it's a great fundraiser for Home, but really on the other hand, it's honoring, so we'll do this every year, it's honoring someone that was not only instrumental in the Austin and Texas sound, but that, went beyond that, right? And so I think having these moments where we really dig into their legacy can kind of help keep that in the consciousness of our city.
Right, absolutely. So, continued education.
Yeah.
It's fun education.
Right?
It's still, still something to do culturally. I want to make sure in our last minute here that we talk about some of the programs that you guys do, where basically the money from this benefit concert will go.
Yeah, of course. So we, as I mentioned, we still do rent and utilities and again, kind of whatever it takes to keep folks in their homes in those golden years. But then we also have sort of more of a benefits enrollment program and stuff. We work really hand in hand with folks like HAM to make sure that
Health Alliance for Austin Musicians.
Correct. Yeah. So big happy ecosystem there. But I also do want to mention that. Heard it here first. We are announcing who our next honoree is for next year. I know. Yes, I got the go ahead to say it. Yes, it's Gary P. Nunn.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. So, and Marcia's thrilled by this too. And Gary's going to be there with us on Thursday.
Oh, exciting!
He's been a champion for Texas music. And we're just thrilled that the Cosmic Cowboy is going to be there with us to close out the evening, and that we get to celebrate him next year.
And put the crown on him for 2027.
Yeah,
okay, exactly. Sounds like a ton of fun to me. Thank you so much for your time, Hannah. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
All right, guys, you can get more information about this wonderful event and keep the cultural education continuing by going to homeaustin.org. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Swift River Pecans, LLC. We're at Swift River Pecans today. We're talking with owner Troy Swift and Charleston Jackson. So Troy, our first question is for you. Y'all have a sawmill and a lumber kiln operation. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, in the pecan industry, we're always around giant native trees, and when they would fall, it always bothered me. They were just rotting away. So I decided to install a sawmill and a kiln.
Where do the logs you use come from?
Most of them come from within 10 miles of here. Any logs we harvest are trees that fell along the San Marcos River. Sometimes they come off the Guadalupe River. We never cut down trees we would much rather them be making pecans. We're in the pecan business. But if they're at the end of their life and Mother Nature knocks them down, or if man knocks them down for a road or some other reason, we will take them and saw them into usable products.
Okay, let's talk about the kiln drying, because there are a couple, 3, 4, 5 benefits to kiln drying the lumber.
Well, if you're going to build furniture out of wood, it needs to be kiln dried. First, it shrinks the wood, which is very important. You don't want your wood to shrink after you make furniture. It also kills any bugs and larvae that live in the wood so they don't come alive in your house, and also to make it where to hold a finish. So it's very important if you're going to use wood to have it kiln dried.
Chuck, I want to ask about the aspects of wood. What stands out to you when you look at beautiful pieces?
For beautiful pieces of wood, there are a lot of different characteristics that can make it stand out. Anything from color, wormholes, knots, spalting, grain pattern. Spalting is caused by a fungus. It leaves behind unique, beautiful, decorative lines in the wood. The fungus is dead because we kiln dry it, but it leaves behind beautiful markings in the lumber that you can see throughout of it.
You have just sawed this huge piece of lumber. You guys were showing me a couple minutes ago a couple of types of artifacts that I mean, are part of human history.
A lot of times, human history and tree history intersect. Anything from fence posts, bullets, old nails, golf balls, just old tools somebody set in a crack of a tree and the tree grew around. Just about anything your mind can imagine, we've almost hit it with a saw.
Okay, and what you want is for furniture makers who are watching today, house builders, DIY woodworkers, to know that you guys exist.
All woodworkers are welcome here. Here's what we say. If you like wood, you like this place. And these things can be used for countertops, bars and wineries and breweries, restaurant tables. People make all kinds of things out of wood. And if you're looking for locally sourced wood, this is the place to go.
Beautiful pieces that stand the test of time. It's really cool stuff. Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Learn more at swiftriverpecans.com. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Swift River Pecans, LLC. Welcome back. Winter, of course, brings that drier air. It can really reduce moisture on our faces, even make you feel a little bit scaly. So our friend Gentry Quinn is here with tips to protect our skin barrier. I'm interested to know why we're talking skin barrier first. So good morning, Gentry.
Good morning. This is a good one because the barrier is something that, in very simple terms, it keeps the good stuff in and it keeps the bad stuff out. So when we do those common things, we've all done them before, use too many actives, maybe over exfoliate, maybe cleanse too much, things like that, we can sort of start to strip that barrier, and then it leaves us with compromised skin. So today I really want to go over this really easy 3-step beauty routine that anyone can do if they have dry skin, red skin, irritated, all those things that winter tends to bring. We're going to fix that today.
Okay,
Yes.
I love to hear that.
Yes.
Let's get started.
Okay, cool. So the very first thing I want to talk about is cleanser. Okay, so if you have dry, sensitive, mature skin, you might want to lean on a cleanser that is a little bit more gentle, but whatever the case you choose to use at night that's working for you, that's not too stripping. In the morning, a good beauty tip is to just rinse your skin with warm water, because the skin doesn't like extremities. And if you're not waking up with super oily skin, right, or super dirty skin, which we're usually not, and your products from the night before have already had a chance to do their magic, then you're just waking up, you've got the natural oils on your face, rinse with warm water, and you're good to go.
Don't strip your skin further.
Yes.
Kind of use the moisture that your skin has given you.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Perfectly said. Okay. So the second tip is going to be right when you get out of the shower or the bath, you have the 60-second window, right? Right where that water starts to evaporate. So if you can, leave your hydrating serum close by, apply that first, and it'll help bring the moisture up to the cells of the skin. So I like to use a hyaluronic-based serum. I know there's lots of fun trends out there, but for me, I consider myself sort of like an anti-beauty trend setter. You know what I mean? I got like the tried and true classic hyaluronic acid, things like aloe, glycerin, those are great humectants. Look for those on the back of your serum and apply that first.
Okay, 60 seconds when you get out of the shower. So basically the first thing you do.
If you can. I always say you can't lock in moisture you don't have. So just think of it that way.
Good point. When I learned that your face should be wet in order to put hyaluronic acid on, it changed the game for me because I was
Yes.
like, I don't understand why everybody thinks this is a holy grail product. Once you have wet skin and you use hyaluronic acid, then you see the difference.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And don't put too much pressure on yourself. Like if you're doing it at a different time, like if your beauty routine is broken up for some reason, maybe apply a little mist. Or just dampen your face first and then apply it. I have that, the little mist in the bottle.
I do too.
There you go. And then problem solved.
I love
there
it.
you go.
Okay, and third step?
Third step is locking it in with something that's more occlusive. So for you, it can be your favorite facial lotion, your favorite facial butter, maybe a facial oil. If you apply a facial lotion, butter, and oil, just apply your oil last because whatever you apply on top of those humectants, it's going to seal it in and help prevent water loss. And that's what we want if we have compromised, dry, sensitive skin, those things that the winter tends to bring on.
Well, I was going to say, I definitely use moisturizers, but then especially like I get so much dryness right around my nose. I use something like Aquaphor to kind of seal it all in.
Yes, we're going to get to that in just a second with the beauty hack because you are smart. You are smart.
I'm following your advice is what I'm
yes.
doing. So let's talk about some beauty hacks.
That is the great. So I'll start with that one because I usually say it last because I feel like it's a very underrated beauty tip, the one that you just talked about. Putting something around the nose, particularly when we start to see that drier weather, we start to
blowing your nose, you've got all sorts, allergies. It's certainly allergy season.
The heaters are running, that dries everything out. So putting a little something around your nose or wherever those spots are for you that you mentioned can really help lock in the moisture and prevent that dry, flaky skin. Okay. So I love that you brought that up. So another tip, it's just so easy, but I feel like if it's not easy, we tend to not do it. Do you feel like that?
Oh, 100%.
So leaving something like a hand cream and a lip balm by your bed, that's what I do, and applying that, the hands and the lips tend to lose moisture first. So that's why it's so important. Just do it before bed, and I promise you'll
I use the O'Keeffe's working hands because I dry out crazy fast.
Yes.
So I'm to the point
perfect.
where I thought like, should I put gloves on it?
I mean, you can. You could do that with like something Vaseline and socks at night if you want to soften up your feet. You know what I mean? So you could totally do that.
Okay.
If you really want to go the extra measure, Rosie, I mean,
I've got such sensitive skin, it just dries out so quick.
I understand.
And your third hack?
So retinol, most people use it. If you do use it, you don't have to stop using it during the winter if your skin gets dry, but here's a couple ways to modify the use of it. One little beauty tip is to look for retinol that's OL on the end. There's lots of different types of vitamin A's, right? There's the retinols, there's prescription tretinoin. So the OL, that will tend to be a little bit more gentle on the skin, okay?
I didn't know that.
So you can also use a moisturizing formula. So I just have this as an example here because it's very moisturizing, so it's already mixed in with the retinol, right? Or you can use your prescription and you can sandwich it in between a moisturizer. Anytime you put on a little moisturizer and then any type of retinol, it's going to slow down the absorption rate and it's going to make it a little bit easier. Also, if you wait until your skin is totally dry, whenever you put on a retinol, we're doing the opposite thing with the retinol, right?
Yes, because if it's wetter, right, it speeds the reaction up and then you can have bigger reactions.
Yes, it might have it absorb a little too quickly and it might be irritating. So you want to make sure your skin is totally dry before you apply your retinol. And again, if you apply a little bit of cream beforehand, it'll slow down the absorption. Or you can use it every other day. That's another hack with your retinol. So there are ways that you can continue to use it during the winter time. Okay. And just pay attention if your skin to how your skin feels.
Right. If things are shifting, make a shift as well.
Yes, exactly.
And then we've got 10 seconds, but I know you want to say it. SPF, should we wear it every day of the year?
You should, yes. It's always the last step in your skincare routine.
Okay.
As a bonus tip.
Oh, always helpful to have you,
got
Gentry.
this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Watch Gentry's daily over 40 beauty tips on TikTok and Facebook at Gentry Quinn, and take a deeper dive on skin protection and other beauty topics on her website. I love her to death, gentryquinn.com. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Plexiderm. Moms, of course, try to pass on the wisdom of wearing sunscreen and moisturizing, but do any of us ever listen? And even if we follow all of that advice to a T, we still end up with those unwanted deep-set wrinkles, puffy under eye bags. Why? Well, the good news is it's not your fault. It's just a part of growing older. As we age, our skin naturally loses its moisture, its elasticity, and then the wrinkles come. However, today we're excited to talk to an expert that can help us look and feel our best. Lifestyle contributor Melinda McKenzie is here to tell us more about Plexiderm. Melinda, hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me today. I'm excited to talk about Plexiderm, which is a product I use every single day.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about how great you look because you're about to turn what age, my friend?
I'm about to turn 65, 6'5". And I want to also say I don't have injections. I don't have fillers. That's why I like talking about Plexiderm. This is just simply what Plexiderm can do for you. So I know a lot of times people will watch these and say, this doesn't seem right. It seems like maybe AI has jumped in there and fixed things. I'm here to tell you this is what Plexiderm can do. And that's also why we like to show photos and videos, because even if you've never taken care of your skin, and believe me, I do as much as I can, but even if you've never taken care of your skin, that's the great thing about Plexiderm, because you're just going to put it any area that you want to have it smooth and you're good to go.
Yeah, okay. I love, of course, seeing before and after pictures and videos. Tell me about this. Only 10 minutes, no doctor visits, topical serum, so there's no pain involved, right?
Yes. My favorite thing is that now you are in charge of your skin. Let's say you're someone who's already gotten injections and fillers. No judgment there. But if you do that, and then you go out to eat or you stay up late and you get the puffiness, what are you going to do about that? You're going to get your Plexiderm out and take care of it. I like the fact that it's a topical serum. So anywhere on your face that you're like, you know what, I don't like those forehead lines, or I have the puffiness underneath my eyes, or what about those deep lines around my mouth? Put the smallest amount of Plexiderm. We want you to let it rest for 10 minutes. Then you have up to 10 hours of usage. So remember, 10 for 10. And then the great thing is you just wash it off at the end of the day. So don't need a manual. You don't need 6 weeks. You need 10 minutes.
Not bad. And, you know, for those of us ladies who are putting on the makeup, maybe a little bit more as time goes on when we're trying to feel our best, talk to me about how we should use Plexiderm and makeup. And then can guys do it? Those who wear no makeup?
Exactly. Those are great questions. And those are very popular among people that are new to Plexiderm. So yes, you can absolutely wear cosmetics with Plexiderm. I do. I love cosmetics. What I will tell you is you can do it either way. You can put it on first, put your Plexiderm on first, then use your cosmetics, because you are going to find you use a lot less. For me personally, because I've lost a lot of collagen, so I have the indentation. So what would happen is I'd throw a lot of under eye concealer, thinking the more is better, and it really isn't. Now, if you're a guy and you don't wear any cosmetics and you're like, yeah, I'd like to have smoother skin, but I don't want anybody to know I'm wearing something. I don't want to see anything. I want my skin to look like my skin. That's why we love Plexiderm. This is highly concentrated. You just use the smallest amount. We have men in our clinical trials as well as women. We have athletes, guys who run, and they say, wow, I can't believe something so simple. Thanks for letting us use something that the ladies have been using. So that's why it's exciting. It doesn't matter, male, female, sensitive skin like me, or you've never taken care of your skin. Plexiderm is going to work. You just need clean, dry skin in 10 minutes.
Sounds good to me. And you mentioned clinical studies. Let's talk about what clinical studies have been done on Plexiderm.
Yes, absolutely. So in February of 2019, we wanted to know, how effective is Plexiderm? How long does it last? What are the results when we put it on the forehead, under the eyes, and around the mouth? What we discovered is when you start with clean, dry skin and let your Plexiderm rest 10 minutes, on those forehead lines, you're going to have a reduction of up to 85%. Pretty phenomenal. So don't cut the bangs anymore. Plexiderm will do the job for you. Underneath the eyes, that is the number one issue that people talk about. The puffiness, the lines and creases. For someone like me who gets that indentation, I don't want that to be the first thing people look at and people say that you're tired. When you put Plexiderm and let it rest for 10 minutes, no matter what issue it is, you're going to have a reduction of up to 80%. That's really phenomenal. And remember, you can wear it with or without makeup. Last but not least is around the mouth. If you have those marionette lines that you feel like are very deep, or if let's say your cosmetics crease into the lines of your face, put the smallest amount here or around the lips, let it rest for 10 minutes. You're going to have a reduction of up to 74%. And again, let it rest for 10 minutes. You're going to notice a difference in 2 to 3 or go, I'm done, I'm special. Let it rest for 10. We wanted to create that nice, beautiful shield. 10 for 10, then it lasts up to 10 hours.
That's wonderful. And then, Not only can you get through the workday, you can get through cocktail hour, maybe seeing some friends, come home and wash it off. I want to ask about a trial offer because you're trying to encourage people to just give it a go.
We are. Everybody would like a free sample. We love to give everybody on the planet a free sample. It's not realistic. So here's a great idea that they came up with. For $14.95, you're going to get a 6-pack. That means 6 applications of your Plexderm to give it a try. This is free shipping. This is a 30-day money-back guarantee. There is no subscription. So once you get this, this is all you get. Give it a try and see how you like it. We want to hear your stories. After 8 years, we still hear from people every single day. So just go to plexdermtrial.com. You can get this great deal. Call the number on your screen or scan that code. And then we want to hear from you.
Sounds good to me. Melinda, if we can look like you, then I think we're in the right ballpark. My friend, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
You can try Plexaderm for just $14.95, including free shipping, by visiting plexadermtrial.com or by calling the number on your screen. Again, that's plexadermtrial.com or call 800-727-6719. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Plexaderm. Hey, we are happy to be able to offer you some help if you're out there searching for jobs. KXAN has partnered with ZipRecruiter to help you find thousands of job openings in Austin and around the country. Just go to kxan.com/jobs where you can search thousands of new postings every single day. Check it out right now and get started on the path to your next career. We have a lot of fun here on Studio 512. If you missed any of our great segments, be sure to check out our website where we like to post the fun things we do. Our feed covers content like arts and entertainment, food and drink, fashion and beauty, home and garden, stuff for kids and pets, as well as information from area experts. In addition, you can check out web-exclusive content that you can only find on Studio512TV.com. We also love to post behind-the-scenes funny moments, outfit inspirations, and more on social media. Find us by searching for Studio 512 on your favorite platform. You don't want to miss a single post. Be sure to follow us, check out our website, and watch us every weekday at 11 a.m. right here on CW Austin.